1, 2, 3, clap. Hi, and welcome to Hey Buddy, Nice Podcast. Over there, suffering in Scotland, suffering is Brogan Hastings.
And over there in Australia, suffering in a new and unusual way, it's Wayne Giovinazzi.
Yeah, but is it fair to compare one person's suffering to another?
Mine is most definitely self-inflicted.
Oh, yeah. Of course, why would you... I was watching some old Vines today before we started recording, and one of them was... she was saying to the camera, remember, no one's going to be able to hate you as much as you hate yourself.
Yeah,
Classic
that's
line.
so true. That's very true.
So you're feeling that then, hey? Hang on. This is sounding a bit like coffee talk territory. Are we in coffee talk territory?
We're most definitely in coffee talk territory.
It's time for Coffee Talk. Saving those turtles one straw at a time.
You know how the symbol cuts out too early?
Yeah.
I've got the perfect solution for that. You know how I fixed this drop?
Hey, buddy, nice podcast.
Just by adding Matt Donnelly's st at the end. That sounds like a bit of an end of a symbol. We're
just using Matt Donnelly, the very real and 100% definitely not fake Matt Donnelly.
Hang on, let's test it out. I'm gonna see if it works with me going st.
It's time for Coffee Talk. Saving those turtles one straw at a time.
St. Passable?
Meh.
No, I'm no Matt Donnelly. I mean,
you're not. No.
No. Anyway,
but we are in
go on
coffee
about
talk.
Your complaints.
I'm complaining about myself because let this be a lesson to all listeners. You know, if your mother tells you to do something, you should probably do it. You should probably listen to her advice because she probably knows what the fuck she's talking about. And if she tells you that you should maybe get your diet sorted, you know, well over a year in advance of when you next plan your holiday, and you don't, and then you get to nearer the time, so you panic and you start the fucking potato diet again, and you suffer because of it. Maybe you've only yourself to blame.
Hang on, weren't we shitting a bit on the potato diet last week?
Probably, but you know what?
That is not the point.
I mean, you can't argue with results.
Yeah,
it gets results. Right. It does get results.
Rapid. It's the rapidness of it that works, I guess.
It's 100%. It's not a diet to be stuck to indefinitely. It's a crunch diet.
Oh yeah.
It is. I hate myself. I hate what I've done to myself. And now I must suffer the consequences. Oh look, it's the consequences of my own actions. You with the fucking tattoo. Sup?
You said it's but that description sounded like I should be on this diet 100% of the time because how you described it. I'm not sure if you're silent because you're judging me or because the screen froze.
The screen froze, so I missed your entire question, but go on.
Oh, okay. Let's take it from the top. Let's do it again. Ready?
You fucking tattoo.
Yeah, based on that description that you just gave, it sounds like I should be on that diet 100% of the time.
I mean, no, I'm on the diet because I weigh a lot more than I want to or should. You don't gain weight.
Not by choice. I tell you a thing. I will tell you a thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not yesterday. Last week, I threw out a bag of shirts, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm very sympathetic to these situations, right? These shirts, basically collection of shirts over years, and some of them hardly even worn. But there's probably about, I want to say, 30 to 40 shirts. I didn't throw them out. They got donated. Basically, they got put in the charity bin. So I'm hoping that there's some fat motherfucker out there who's like, oh wow, look at all these pop culture video game T-shirts at the Good Samaritan store. Have I hit the jackpot? Mm-hmm. So well aware. But actually, this shirt that I'm wearing here. This is one that I kept because it was a pretty new shirt. This is it's either a 2 or a 3XL, and it's gigantic.
Yeah.
So
I think the problem with me as well is I tend to wear bigger size clothes anyway, just because I like the room. But I've got a couple of shirts in Vegas that I bought that it's not that they don't fit me, but when I bought them the right size. And they're now slightly too tight in that. If they'd never been washed, they would be very slightly too tight. Now that they've been washed and shrunk down a bit, they're a bit too tight.
So,
and one of them I think is a Vegas Golden. One of them is a Vegas Golden Knights one, a Jack Eichel t-shirt, and I think it's a women's style. So the sleeves are like up there, and
the
I
sleeves
fucking
are tiny.
hate that. I love the design.
Angled sleeves.
Yeah.
Now, the problem I would have would be, is it that the shirts don't fit, or they're probably fine, but you don't like how they are?
They fit for normal people. Like, if they fit.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. I don't like it when they fit. I don't like stuff touching me.
Yeah, so it's not how it was intended to be, how you wanted it, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
See, I used to buy clothes on the basis of, gee, I really like that shirt, but, no one caters for these sizes, really. So, one day I'll wear that shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that so often, and I don't know what happened to most of those shirts.
See, I can't.
Never worn.
I buy too much stuff anyway. And I need to stop.
Petrol. Ugh.
Yeah. I like, but even just clothes wise, I'm trying not to, but sometimes it happens.
The big
I feel like Vegas is an exemption.
The big blanket on the back of your chair looks like it's like a clothing item from Game of Thrones. While we're on the topic of clothing items.
I've had this for years, but it's a big fluffy blanket that...
Yeah.
Let me get my Winterfell on.
You can actually... Gosh, I was wearing a hoodie during the first recording. I've gotten changed because it was so hot. That makes me want to, die right now, seeing you wrapped up in that blanket.
It is the middle of summer for you, though.
Is it? Yeah, it is. It hasn't been a crazy hot summer, though.
It's still winter here.
Yeah. Has it been snowing?
I mean, it's been icy.
Okay.
I don't think you could count
That's why I haven't got any updates then.
Yeah. It's frosted. It's been frosted, but I wouldn't call it snow, and it's not something I would give you an update on.
Okay.
The ground is slightly whiter because it's frosted. No. We've got the Brian Brushwood grass with its frosted tips.
Gosh, that makes me think of those terrifying things. You see it on the internet from time to time. Look at this field. It looks like it's covered in frost and dew. No, that is spider webs. Have you seen those? Fucking hell.
I have, yeah.
No. I'm scared to think if that happens in Australia. Did you see that comic that I posted on our thing the other day or today? I can't remember.
I did yesterday.
This really should have been in Art Talk last week, but last episode. I'm just trying to get to it. We'll sit in silence. For some reason, I typed in "Nice Pod Bud" and it took me to my page. Basically, the comic is there's a guy, toilet time, I think he referred to it as, and he sees a spider on the wall. He's like, oh, better keep an eye on that spider, make sure it doesn't drop on me or some shit. And as he's looking at the spider, a whole group of other little spiders run up and run into his pants. And then he pulls up his pants. He's like, "Rot-row."
I didn't know that was a fear that I had, but now it is. And yet another reason why, unfortunately, I will never be able to visit Australia. It
must happen. It must. Spiders in toilets.
Yep.
More so outhouses, not that outhouses are a huge thing. Maybe if you're in the bush.
I mean, you're not convincing me anymore to come to Australia.
I still bang my shoes every morning, make sure there's no spiders in there.
No.
And they live inside my shoes. My shoes live inside. Spiders don't live inside my shoes. My shoes are inside shoes. They're like a cat. They should always be inside.
Mate,
I would not dare. No. I would not dare leave anything outside that I loved. It would, The spiders.
You
would
learned
get
that
it.
lesson. You learned that lesson with your Evil Dead costume.
Yeah, with the chainsaw, chainsaw hand. But yeah, so you're suffering. You're hating life, mainly because of potatoes. And you said it's day 2 that you're on.
This is day 2, and already I am suffering. And do you know what? It's 100% because I drink so much like Pepsi Max and Diet Juice and stuff.
Yeah.
That the caffeine and the sugar is leaving my system.
Yep. Hang on. There would be sugar if you have Diet and Pepsi Max. I'm
saying sugar, I'm meaning whatever sugar replacement is in Pepsi Max.
Oh, okay. Got ya. Well, yeah, it's... Look, I mean, that's going to be a good... not just like your Cray Ray kickstart, but all the salts and shit in Pepsi Max. And it's not good either. So,
no.
Yeah.
No. So, yeah, I'm a bit of a grumpy bugger this week. And it's not going to be made any better because I have to go into the Glasgow office on Monday. I have to go into the Edinburgh office on Tuesday. So if anybody fucking pisses me off, it will not go well.
Which office do you prefer? Do you prefer the Glasgow or the Edinburgh?
I actually prefer the Glasgow office. It takes longer to get there. It costs me more money to get there. But I prefer the...
Perfect reasons.
I actually prefer the office. I think that's maybe because... So the Edinburgh office is like an old townhouse.
Mm.
And like nobody comes... It's silent in there.
Yep.
You know, there's no chat. But yeah, I mean, there's sometimes chat, but not the same as it. There's none of that Glasgow banter.
Okay. Different type. But then again, I assume that there's potentially people who live like not in Glasgow who also work there.
Mm-hmm.
So is it more of the culture of the place or the people?
It's hard to tell. I mean, I think one of the big differences is the fact that the Glasgow office is open plan. So you've got everybody from all the teams talking to each other.
Looking at each other.
Yeah. And sometimes that's not a great thing. We have one partner who absolutely
Never
fucking
great.
hates us. Hates me, well, definitely hates me. Because he doesn't want to do his AML, and I'm telling him, no, get it done.
Oh, okay.
Don't give a
so
shit.
he hates you professionally.
Yes.
He professionally hates you. He's going into the major leagues of hating you.
There's also another partner who definitely hates me on a professional level, and was, from the sounds of it, was quite disheartened when she found out I was staying.
Ah, sorry, Janine.
You're not
Is
far
Janine
off.
their actual name? Oh, okay. I might have to beep that out then, just in case, because they might hate listen or something. Yeah. Coffee talk. You got anything else you want to get off your chest?
I mean, not really. I think I'll just be angry at myself that I put myself in this position. So I can't even have my treats.
How are you preparing your potatoes at this stage?
The easiest way for me to do is to put them in the oven. Just chop them up, put them in the oven, and that's it.
I think I killed my oven by cooking potatoes in it. It may not be true. It just happened to be when I was doing potatoes, and it's not a bad. It's a nice big oven, you know, with stone cast iron tops and stuff. But the oven part doesn't work no more, and I was cooking potatoes in it all the time, and I was concerned that maybe I've cooked too many potatoes, and the oven's like, nope. You fucked me up because it was such a high heat. I don't know. Maybe the element just died, but it's been like that for years now. So you see that thing right there?
Yeah.
That is what we've been using now for a couple of years. It's just like a little fucking desktop oven. I don't know what else to call it.
Like a camping oven.
Yeah, I don't know what to call it. But then also a air fryer. We've got an air fryer as well.
Yeah.
I use that. So we do a lot of stovetop cooking.
I don't know how else to prepare the potatoes though. That's the thing. I don't know how best to deal with it. I think chopping them up is good because it's just little bite size and just I can pick at it.
I don't think you can mash them. I think like boiling them in water wasn't allowed.
Yeah.
But you can microwave a potato till it's mashable, I guess.
You're not
but then
allowed
you'd
to
have
boil
do
them.
it. I think so. I'm not sure.
I thought you were, but I could be wrong.
I can't remember. Yeah, there isn't. What other options are there for potatoes? Like, you're not going to eat it raw. That would just be disgusting.
I mean, I do have Presto right here.
Oh, yeah.
What does Mr. Gillette say?
1,001 ways to cook a potato.
I mean, that's really what I need. I would very much like that.
Cook without adding anything or taking anything away.
Yeah. I'm looking for day one. What did he do for day one? See, he had Emily to do it for him.
Exactly.
Emily
I think it was
Crary.
just roast potatoes. I think that was all it was.
Yeah.
Apparently, you're not meant to roast potatoes in foil. Do you? Yeah.
I don't roast them in foil. I roast them on foil.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even then, I probably should stop doing that and start doing them on...
baking paper stuff.
Yeah, because they keep sticking to the foil. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually think I'm going to correct myself now. I think it's fine to cook them in the foil, but you shouldn't keep them in the foil and like travel around with them like Pen would.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think that becomes a breeding ground.
Here we go. It's just a goddamn potato. This is from Presto. Can we eat sweet potatoes? Yes. Good, because I've been eating sweet potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
Can we eat baked potatoes? Yes. Fingerlings? Yes. Little non-fat sour cream? No. Unsalted butter? No. Broccoli was okay? No. Weird purple Japanese sweet potatoes? Yes. I've looked for them, I cannot find them. Boiled potatoes? Yes.
Oh, good.
Raw potatoes? Yes. Fried potatoes? No, because oil's been added. Peeled and mashed with nothing added? No, you got to eat the whole potato. Always. Skin and all. And all water. Can you slice them thin and microwave them to make them like little chips? You got to eat all the water?
Yeah, because...
So does that mean I'm doing it wrong with...
microwave.
So does that mean I'm doing it wrong with cutting them up?
No. If you're cutting it up, it's... No.
No, I'm cutting them up and then putting them in the oven.
I think that's fine. I think if they were cooked in the microwave, that's what removes the water. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe
so I can't reheat them in the microwave?
I do not believe you can reheat them in the microwave. But
right, I done that yesterday.
Doctor.
I did do that yesterday.
Oh no. The whole thing is ruined. You have to start again.
I mean,
Back to day one.
Yeah. So that's... So, I mean, how does that work for preparing food
I'm sure...
in advance?
No. You must be able to reheat it in a microwave. Otherwise, like Penn walking around with potatoes in his rucksack.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's...
No one's eating room temperature potatoes.
I mean, you could eat them raw and room temperature, but I think... So yeah, I'm going to work on the basis that I can reheat them in the microwave, because it's like a 30-second blast. It's not, cooking them.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Sure, it's all right.
So
my coffee talk is food related as well.
Oh, do tell.
So I was at work and it's like I need to. I needed, because it was a hot day. It's like I need a bottle of water, so I went to the shop to buy a bottle of water. It's like I could eat as well, and usually the most I'm eating is like a little packet of cheese and crackers, right? So tiny, but there was a place there, calling them out. It was Guzman y Gomez, right? It's a Mexican fast food takeaway kind of place.
Okay.
Right? Been there, not this one, but been to some of them before. Not great. Last time it was Mexican as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe I should just stop having Mexican. So I've got, what made me think, all right, I'll go to them is because they've got an app, a rewards app where you earn up money to get, pay for your meal. And I knew that there was money on there, but I hadn't been able to work out how to redeem it. So I went onto the app, looked at it, and they've updated the app. It's like, hey, you've got $10. You can use that. And like, sweet, I will. So I was getting like a mini burrito, right? And a mini burrito still costs fucking $10. And so I imagine it was still pretty big for a mini for $10. Place my order. It says, yep, that'll be ready in like 10 minutes. So I was like, this is great. Using the phone, haven't even walked in the building, don't have to talk to people, really perfect. That's what you want, right?
Yeah.
So I go into the shop across the grocery store, buy myself a bottle of water. It's time to go get my burrito. I walk in and say, yeah, I've got online order. Hold up my phone so we can see the order number. I was like, oh yeah, it's not ready yet. I'm like, okay. And then I stand off to the side, all like doo-doo-doo, waiting for my mini burrito. And then woman comes up to me and is like, oh, so you've got the online order? It's like, I sure do. It's like, yeah, you see, the thing is we're a bit behind today. And I'm looking around. I'm the only one in the fucking store, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at the door on the way in. They opened at 7 o'clock in the morning because they do breakfasts, right?
Yeah.
This is like 11:30 now.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, so because we're so behind, we haven't got anything ready yet. So the only thing we've got ready is the meat. We don't have any of the tortillas. We don't have any beans. We don't have any rice. Or basically, the only ingredient they had ready was the meat. It's like,
How
well, we
is
can
that
do
even
something
possible?
else. I don't know. And they're like, we can do something else for you, like corn chips and guac. I'm like, that is very different to my order. It's like, well, there's nothing else we can do. I was like, okay, what can we do then about my order? Because I've used my my credit on this. And she's like, oh, well, next time you're here, we can give you a free meal or something. And I'm like, well, this is literally the only time, the first and last time I'm going to be in this store. I will never be here again. And not because of what's happening today, just because of the fucking location. I'm not returning. I do not live anywhere. It's like hours drive to get there. It's like, why would I do that to myself? She's like, oh, I don't know then. I'm like, so you are not even offering to somehow get this credit returned to me? I'm like, nothing I can do. I'm like, okay. So I walk out, basically. It's a bit reminiscent of that iced coffee I tried to get that time at McDonald's. It's like, you know what? Just don't worry about it. It wasn't as bad as that on my part. But I'm walking out and I hear someone else say to her, oh, did you try offering? And I didn't hear the rest of it because the door was still open. Like, don't let the door hit my ass on the way out. So I pushed the door open up again and I like, do not offer me anything. And I just keep walking. So it was a little bit assholey of me, I guess.
Yeah.
So I've had to email them and say, hey, this is what happened. I tried to get something with my store credit, but they were unable to fulfill my order and had no option for a refund. Can you please just put the credit back onto my account? I haven't heard back from them, but honestly, I don't give a fuck either.
No.
But it was a weird experience.
I mean, you would think that the one thing that they had prepared would be tortillas.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, if that was me in that situation, I'd be just like, give me a pile of tortillas, the equivalent up to the value of £10. I will just fucking eat them. Just a whole pack. And that's why I'm doing the potato diet.
I think about it now, but I mean, in WA at the moment, we're struggling to get particular goods into the state because there's been train derailments and floods in the eastern states, which has made it hard to get some standard items, right?
Yeah.
Like how there's been toilet paper shortages, things like that. Tissues have been hard at the moment to get. It's stupid. So maybe it could have been something like that. Maybe they had an order come in late, and I don't know. I assume there was outstanding circumstances that were outside of their control as to why they had no tortillas, beans, rice, onion, whatever the fuck else goes in this micro tortilla burrito.
But surely they would have known that before they opened.
At 7 o'clock, hours earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the minute they knew, they should have been like off the fucking website.
That's what gets me is like you use other apps and they will say, yeah, we're sold out of this. You cannot order it. So I don't know why they were unable to do something like that.
Yeah.
I think we're done with coffee talk. Maybe we should talk about something a bit more upbeat.
Go for it.
You know what? No, this is still fucking coffee talk territory. God damn it. I was gonna. So I thought it is still coffee talk. I thought it was good, but it's not good. But we learned a very good fact again, didn't we?
We did, yes.
We happen to be on the same schedule again.
We're back on our haircut schedules.
What's that? Yes, Keza said that our periods have synced up.
Yes.
Oh, okay. She asked if they had, but clearly they
Yeah.
have. Yes, no pre-planning or anything. We are dead on to the day haircut schedule again.
Yes.
Yep. How did your haircut go?
It's fine. I asked for it short. I think I asked for it shorter than usual. And it's not, but I think I was kind of taken aback that she did actually cut it shorter, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
What are you doing? You're doing what I asked.
So yeah, I'm mostly testing it out.
Admiring yourself in the digital mirror.
Yeah, I think I didn't realise how much I'd kind of miss it having just a wee bit longer on the top.
Yeah.
I like it shorter
See,
on the sides, definitely, but I think I like a little bit more on the top.
Mine it's too fluffy on the sides up here. I'm not a fan of it. I don't believe this is a great haircut, and I'm not liking it. But it's my own fault. I should have known. I should have realised. I rolled the dice because, since having that kid, the person who cuts my hair still has not returned. Fucking living their goddamn life, not thinking about me in the slightest. How dare they?
How very dare they?
But I look. The signs were there, right? You don't book an appointment. You open the app and you check in, right? So I do that while I'm still at home because it said hour and 40 minutes till your appointment. So I'm like, cool, I can chill. And then I was like, you know what? I might go check out the shops a bit, walk around. So get there maybe half an hour before my appointment. Go to one place, pop culture store, look at some cool shit. Like, oh, actually, I could do looking at this other place. I walk all the way there. I look at the time. It says, yep, you've still got 17 minutes until your haircut appointment. Like, cool. And then I'm halfway into the store, and then I get a notification saying, your appointment is in 3 minutes. I'm like, son of a bitch. So turn around, go back, and they say, oh, hi, Wayne. It's like, yeah, hi. Because they know me now, which is surprising. It's like, yeah, hi, how are you? And it's like, oh, would you like a drink? I'm like, no, I'm fine. Because it was still early. I wasn't going to have an alcoholic beverage that early in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I look up the screen and my name is gone from position number 1, 3 minutes, next available barber, to position number 4, 17 minutes. And then it jumps up to 2, and then 5, like going all over the place. I was there for like 20 minutes waiting for my haircut when it told me it was time. So it was probably around about the right time it should have been, but it was messing with my head. That was the first warning. Second warning was when the person like, are you Wayne? It's like, yes, I am. I'm here to cut your hair. It's like, oh, cool. I didn't recognize him. That's a bad sign as well. And you know what? I realized this is on me. I've gone on a Saturday, a busy day, when they get everyone into work, right? So even probably the less experienced barbers and hairdressers. So I should know not to go on a Saturday now. I know that now. Mm-hmm. So we walk into the chair, and she's like, "Oh, you're in the naughty corner today." I'm like, "What?" It's like, we're sitting in this chair, the chair in the corner that I fucking hate because the lighting is terrible. So I'm thinking, I can't see what's quite going on properly. They probably can't see my head properly either. But
oh, no.
It was very odd that they called it the naughty corner and the way they said it. It's like...
That's more a reflection on the barber than the customer. And it's not something I'd be bragging about to a customer.
No, that's right. But I mean, they did keep on saying "we." I'll just put your head forward a wee bit as well, which I thought was funny, because they weren't Scottish in the slightest. And I did appreciate that as well, because sometimes, like now that I roll the dice every time, I get a different hairdresser barber every time. Sometimes they'll say, "Yeah, just look down." Other times, they would just expect me to know what to do without giving me instruction. So like, they might like push on my head a little bit and I'm like, okay, I should probably look down. So I start to look down. Like, no, just look up, please. I'm like, you're not giving me instructions. I don't know what to do. I am not in control of this. But I tell you, this chick, she was in fucking control of everything. I feel like I was abused. I feel like I need to file some form of report because no shit, I like head, gush, gosh, like whipping me around with the shaver. What do you call it? The buzzer, the shearer. It's like slamming it into my head. Right, this is not an exaggeration either, and it's like so rough. I'm like, lady, please do not get the scissors. I am scared for my life.
Oh my god,
it was insane. But when that's happening, I'm like, yep. I feel like this is a good character trait. She knows what she wants to do with this head of mine. She's going to do a good job. But no, the end product, it was not desirable.
No.
Oh, not just with the scissors. She whipped out the fucking straight blade as well to like do the back of my neck. And
oh no,
I'm sitting there frozen in fear.
Yeah.
It's like, I have to remember to keep breathing. Shallow breaths, because I don't want to breathe in too much in case I move and she slices me open.
Jesus.
But I have that fear every time now that they whip out the straight blade to like do like around. I don't have sideburns anymore, but around sideburns and around the ears and that. Because I'm like, what if today is the day that this person snaps? And what if this is the minute that they're going to snap? It happens. Surely
Of course it happens.
It must have happened.
Yeah. There's a Monty Python bit about that. I mean, it's all it takes is we've all had intrusive thoughts, or people who have intrusive thoughts. All it takes is one intrusive thought that you don't stamp down on. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times this week alone I have thought about drop kicking a child that is just passing a child and just punching them in the face, and I have to be like, no, you can't do that. You cannot just punch random children in the face that you happen to be passing.
I'm not to be the devil on your shoulder, but it's a life lesson for the kid. Makes society a little better. Sounds like a win-win to me.
They weren't doing anything. They weren't being annoying. They were being perfectly fine, and I think that's
Oh, really?
That sounds. Yeah. It's not. These children were not doing anything. This is an intrusive thought. This child. The only thing this child has done is walk past me.
All right, that's yeah, okay. It's less of a life lesson for the child.
Mm-hmm.
But was the child alone?
No, they were with a parent or a guardian or someone.
Yeah, a parent and or guardian. See, that makes it more of a challenge, I guess, than anything else.
I mean, in my head, it was just like swinging my arms and just battering them in the face. I mean, these are not good thoughts. These are not thoughts that I would or should act on.
Oh, probably not, really. No. But then again, children getting hurt is funny. But children being abused, probably not so much.
I think it was landed more on the children being abused side of is it funny scale.
See, that's where this situation, perfectly acceptable to laugh at. I was somewhere in, I want to say, Queensland, like a shopping mall or something. There was an outside bit, and there was a kid running around, and there was like a pole, and the pole was above their eye level, but below forehead level. So they smack into it, hit the deck. Now that is acceptable to laugh at.
Yeah.
I think.
Like I know that for a fact. When I was a lot younger, we were one of our shopping centres. I was looking at it hadn't been open very long, and I was looking at the shops going past, and Mum would say, "Brogan, look out." I turned my head around and walked right into a pole.
But if she hadn't have said look out, would you have walked into the pole?
Yes. I would have walked into the pole either way. The only difference is I turned around and hit it face on rather than smacking into the side of my face.
Well, I gave myself a concussion one time walking into something. Yeah.
How did you do that?
It was that game. So this was they had TVs on poles, right? At the front of the store, out in the windows, basically, to play trailers and advertisements.
I'm familiar.
And we would have, so we'd have to go in there and also put like posters and wrap on the windows for like, sale now on and shit like that. So I just finished doing that. I turned around to walk wherever I was going, smacked into the corner of the television. And I remember I went to the doctors after that to be like, I'm concerned I have a concussion. And they're like, oh, why do you think that? Like, because I walked headfirst into a television and I've done some silly things in between now and being here. Like, my first thought was, I need to go pay someone some money, so I'm going to go do that. So I went to try and find them, couldn't find them. And then when I did, it's like, why are you here? It's like, shouldn't you be at work? It's like, no, I've just like walked into a TV and hurt myself. I'm probably going to go to the doctor. It's like, yeah, that's probably the best idea right now, rather than trying to give me money for something that you don't need to give me money for. It's like, yeah, all right, okay, that makes some sense. And the doctor just didn't seem to care. So, I don't know. But I'm sure I was concussed.
Yeah, it sounds like you were concussed.
Yeah, yep. But yeah, haircut schedule, back on target. So you would have made your next appointment, I assume, because that's usually what you do, yeah? Don't tell me don't tell me when it is. We let the stars see if they align again. That's all. You're frozen once more. But you're back. Yeah. Cool. You were frozen. Yeah. So it's up to the stars. So we'll have to call, like, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie and say, hey, you people are pretty famous. You could be called stars. Should we get a haircut? I don't know if there's a production meeting or if it's making the cut, but...
I think it should be a production meeting. Because we don't want to spoil anything.
No. Have we done an unannounced, unscheduled ad for Big Sexy Digital Nomad before?
I don't know. But I think we should do one anyway.
Should we? All right.
Yeah.
I've hit the button, but it's just not working, so I'm meant to be pretending like we're talking naturally. And then, oh yeah, it's time for an unscheduled, unannounced ad break. This is mainly an ad break because we're shouting out our friends, aren't we?
Yes, we are. We're shouting out Big Sexy Digital Nomad with Big Sexy and Judgmentalist, who are our good buddies.
Correct. Now, the question though, is this just a, like, oh, you got me a gift, now I have to get you a gift situation?
No, I do genuinely enjoy them.
That's not what I mean. I mean, like, they shout us out all the time. So
they do shout out us quite a bit, and I feel bad because it's taken me a little bit to... I've been in quite a few episodes behind, and I'm finally catching up.
Yeah.
So this is me saying, yes, I'm almost caught up.
Yeah.
And I'm paying it forward.
I'm getting back into the habit of listening to podcasts and stuff while I work. Which isn't always possible for me because, I could die at my job. So sometimes it's best not to have earbuds in. So, but, yeah, more Digital Nomad is in my playlist.
Yeah, definitely. They're just fun. They're just fun dudes. And it'll be good to hang out with them when we can.
Yes, ambiguously. Not giving any specifics.
Yep.
Yep. That's not as funny to you, the listener, because of the production meeting that we just cut out. Yeah. But yeah, as always, check out Big Sexy Digital Nomad everywhere and anywhere you find podcasts. I say questioningly. Yeah. Cool. Maybe we should go back to regularly scheduled Miss Bickfell.
You speak words good.
So yeah, I've never been to a speech therapist, but I feel like I should. I don't know. Speaking of speech therapists, actually, that makes a lot of sense. It makes sense to me. But I've been watching a show from the 90s, right?
Yes.
A sketch comedy show called Full Frontal. And as a kid, I remember loving this show because it was funny, mainly because of people like Sean McAuliffe, Kitty Flanagan, Julia Morris. Yeah, Julia Morris. You're familiar with Julia Morris.
Julia Morris.
Yeah, yes. Queen of Australia. So yeah, but I'm watching. See, Sean McAuliffe didn't enter the series until season 2, right? And I'm 4 episodes in. So far, he has appeared one time in one sketch because he was hired as a writer, not as a performer. Yeah. And the sketch was he wasn't a performer in it. He was just background character holding an umbrella. And actually, this was actually one of the good sketches because it wasn't one that was racist or homophobic. But I tell you, there is so much in it which makes me cringe. It's insane. But not just on the level where it's like, oh, they're making these jokes because they think they're funny. It's also social commentary on what was happening at the time. Because I wasn't aware of this. I mean, in 1994, I was a young kid. So I had no idea that the Premier of Tasmania was lobbying to have homosexuality outlawed. Yeah.
Oh
right?
my God.
So there's been a whole bunch of jokes about that, but from the satirical side. So it's not like they're making gay jokes. They're making jokes about homophobia, which...
Yeah.
But then on the flip side of that, they'll just randomly drop the word as well, which it's like... it's... I don't know if that's much of a big word outside of Australia, like 90s Australia.
Oh, it's definitely a word here.
Yeah, but it was said in like every comedy show in Australia in the 90s, I'm sure. But it's dropped every second sketch. It's crazy. And some of the racism as well. Like Australia is known for casual racism. This was a bit heavy on. This was like stereotypical Asian guy, basically, the one that's standing out to me right now. And I mean, there's parts where they're making fun of Greeks and Greek culture, but I guess when they are also Greek themselves, that is like more like poking fun at yourself, though. I guess so. That acceptable? I don't know. know.
It's sometimes it's weird because although it sounds weird to say, oh, it's only funny if Greeks are making those jokes. Sometimes it genuinely doesn't feel like that until you have the context. Like it feels weird. Somebody make a joke. It's like weird. It's like, oh no, I'm Greek. Yeah. It's like, oh right, that is funny then. You know.
As I say, speech therapist was relevant because when Sean McAuliffe does get into the show, I'm reading his book right at the moment, Tripping Over Myself, which is his autobiography. And he is referring to some of the characters he's done as not politically correct or socially acceptable by today's standards, which, okay, yeah, granted, very much so. One of the characters is, are you familiar with Fabio? The real life human man, Fabio. He was, in the 90s, he was on the covers of numerous romantic novels. He was riding a roller coaster and a goose flew into his face. True story.
I feel like probably I would know them, but...
Tall, muscular, long blonde hair. Search Fabio right now.
I mean, there's a lot of Fabio. Fabio Lanzoni.
I think that might be him, yeah.
No, but as a Italian-American actor, fashion model, spokesman. Yep. Yes.
That's him. So one of the characters that Sean McAuliffe did was Fabio, basically. Right. And he knew nothing about Fabio, just knew that he was like on these romance covers and that. So the sketches, the ongoing sketch every week was Fabio's love tips. So he's wearing the long blonde wig, shirt open, like fake plastic chest with abs and that on it. But he talked like a vampire, basically. It's like, I'm Fabio, the most beautiful man in the world. So not even close to being an Italian-American accent. Yeah. But most of the jokes were very sexist. So, by today's standards, not funny. The other character was Milo Kerrigan, the brownish bomber, who was a boxer, a fighter, right? But he'd taken multiple blows to the head, too many concussions, and basically no one could understand a word that he's saying. So it's him in makeup, fake broken nose, head back, and then just like saying gibberish. Yeah. Hilarious as fuck, but, you know, it's not... It's not jokes you make nowadays about, like... Yeah.
We know that concussions are an actual problem now.
Exactly right. All it takes is a television. You walk into it, concussed.
Yeah.
So it's like I am still going to make a supercut of all the best sketches of Sean McAuliffe and send you.
But you have a lot less material than you thought to work with.
I think there's a lot less. Yeah. All of Fabio is, yeah, I don't know. I say it with memories, so maybe it is going to be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the flip,
you go.
I was gonna say on the flip side of that, you've got Sean McAuliffe doing a bit as a voiceover, where it's meant to be the ABC Australian Broadcasting Channel, right? Which is government channel television, like the BBC. Basically, so like no advertisements or anything like that, except for like shows that are coming up. And it's like, we're having technical difficulties at the moment. We do apologise, but the current episode of Mr. Bean cannot be shown. But I can still see it, so I'm going to explain it to you now. So we can see Mr. Bean, the classic Rowan Atkinson with that classic rubbery face, is sitting on a bench. Went silent for a while. Now he's taking off his shoe, and what's he doing? Oh, he's putting lettuce into his sock and he's swinging it around. So he's actually physically, audibly describing an episode of Mr. Bean. And I can't help but think, isn't that kind of what we're doing with Art Talk?
Yeah.
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 Maybe that was a subtle influence, because I had no memory of that sketch at all. But
yeah, that's because you told me that you were doing this and putting all this supercut together and watching this, and I was like, well, if you're doing what's the Scottish equivalent? And for us, it would be Chewing the Fat / Still Game, because Still Game's up come off Chewing the Fat, and Still Game absolutely holds up so far from what I've seen, and just it's so fucking funny. Cause
not much homophobia, sexism, or racism going on there.
I have no doubt that there is at least a little bit in there, but nothing I've got to so far in clips. Certainly nothing that would come up in a supercut. But so, like, one of the, I'm going to spoil this because this is just still one of my favourite things ever. There's in one of the, and I think it was meant to be the very last season, very last episode. So there's two old guys in Glasgow, Jack and Victor, and Jack ends up in the hospital, and it's a scene where it's like he's walking up the stairs to heaven, and his wife, who died years before, is like at the top, Jack, and then Victor sort of appears in between. It's like, sorry, darling, I just need him a wee bit longer. You get down these stairs, Jack. And the wife's still behind him, Jack. Victor turns around, back off, ya spooky bitch. And honestly, to this day, still one of the best lines ever.
Back off, you spooky bitch.
Back off, you spooky bitch.
Okay, yeah, all right. Got to have to say it in Scottish, and I guess back off. I tell you what, I'll show you what I consider a good Milo Kerrigan clip later, and we'll see what you think. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you think it's good, we'll link to it as well. If not, listener, just YouTube Milo Kerrigan, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I don't know how deep we're in because we had to stop for some destructive activities going on earlier. I think the only other thing I want to talk about is I did drop in on, I saw when I finished my stream yesterday, I saw Night Attack was streaming. So like, okay, let's see what's going on. And Bryce was streaming some marble racing game. You're frozen again. There you go, you're back. And Bryce was streaming some marble racing game. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was interesting. So I was sitting there like, okay, I'll see what's going on. And Bryce is entertaining as fuck.
Bryce is great.
Just listening to him talk. But then it's like, and if you want to join in this game, all you have to do is type the command play, and a random marble will be assigned with your name. And I'm like, okay, so exclamation point, play. And then my name appears on screen next to a marble. And basically it's a marble race on a marble track, randomly generated as well. I think, or procedurally generated, whatever it is, whatever they call it. But there's paid versions where you can make your own courses and that as well. And the race starts. I'm watching my marble the whole time. There was like 50 different marbles, and mine was like in the top 10 pretty consistently until about the halfway mark, and then my marble was like way at the back of the pack. It's like, of course, this is what happens. And then it gets down to maybe the last portion of the track, and I've caught up again. I'm sort of like maybe 15th place. And then you see all the marbles going off the end. There's like a jump at the end to the finish line. And like Bryce is calling, oh, we've got such and such in first and in second and in third. It's like, oh, hang on. They're not actually making it to the finish line. They're missing the jump. And we've just got our winner. It's Wayne Geo. It's like, that is insane. It's the first race that I've entered and had no chance of winning, really. And just from behind win.
That's hilarious.
My next 2 races did not finish, fell off the track. Yep. So
it's like you've had your moment in the sun.
Yep. You've had your glory. So
you should have
I
just
got
quit.
to be on the leaderboard. Yeah, I got to be on the leaderboard at least for having a win. So that was something. In retrospect, I should have done it as Nice Pop Bud, shouldn't I? Oh well.
You should have done. Yeah, you
was
missed
logged in as
opportunity.
me. I was logged in as me. I'd been streaming.
Yeah.
Okay, right. We're gonna have to do our accent challenge and hope that this episode is at appropriate length.
Yeah.
Let's anyway. This challenge comes to us from a cheese bag. So let's hit the cheese bag mail music. See how I didn't say scoop at all then? That was pretty good of me, wasn't it?
I'm very proud.
So this one comes from Frozen Cusser. It says, greetings. Here's an accent challenge for you in the model of your Dr. Evil challenge. The challenge was said a lot of times then. Challenge is to read this tweet from Emo Phillips in the best Emo Phillips accent. Okay, I am familiar with Emo Phillips. I know that you were not particularly familiar with Emo Phillips, but we did watch an Emo Phillips clip before recording.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I don't think I'm familiar enough to even try and attempt.
Yeah,
I'm only aware of Emo Phillips as I have seen like a couple of tweets on Twitter. And the clip we watched. That's it.
I don't feel like I have an Emo Phillips voice in me.
I think I could get one eventually, but no.
I reckon I don't have an Emo Phillips voice in me. I'm going to cut that music because it seems very loud. Did that sound louder to you than normal?
That sounded loud.
It did, didn't it? I reckon I've got an emo voice.
I think we could do emo.
Emo, straight up emo. No Phillips.
All emo, no Phillips.
All the emo, no Phillips. Say, is Philips a television electronics brand in the UK?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Just asking. I don't have anything else to say about that. I assume I've shared my screen correctly and you can see it. Oh, hang on, wait. Like, I assume you can see my screen and see this emo Phillips quote we're meant to be reading?
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Like, you guess. Like, you can just look and tell me.
I mean, I can see it, if that's what you're asking.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't have to be so... I don't know what the French call, but you know, that.
God, you're in such a mood.
You sound like my mom. Give me a break. I wasn't sure if you had anything to say or if you had frozen. You had frozen.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should probably do this.
This really might not work because we're having such technical difficulties.
It's not a recording difficulty, it's a Zoom difficulty.
Yeah.
I don't know who's first on this.
I think it's you.
Oh, of course it's me. All right. I like Twitter because it combines my two favorite forms of communication. Texting and throwing a note in a bottle out to sea. God.
Just added a god in there.
Yeah.
Are we
was
applauding
actually
after every accent challenge now?
Yes, we decided that. We applaud every time. No, it wasn't a god. It was a gah. G-A-H. That's what I added at the end. Gah.
I like Twitter because it combines two of my favourite forms of communication. Texting and throwing a note in a bottle out to the sea.
I don't
never
quite
had-
get the joke.
No, me neither. I never had black hair as a kid because my mum told me I wasn't allowed to dye my hair black.
Aww.
And it's probably
I've never
for the
had dyed
best.
Yeah. See, the
I've had
problem is
highlights.
Oh, okay. If I dye my hair, I have to like my eyebrows are also very ginger. It's like there's more to it than just the top of my head, right? It would look weird, you know, having like purple hair and ginger eyebrows, I assume.
My hairs used to be sort of like silver purple on top.
Silver purple.
Yeah.
Silver purple?
Yeah.
Silver purple.
No, as in-
I'm trying.
As in it looked silver and then in the light, depending on the light, it looked purple.
Oh, so it was like a chromatic, iridescent, pearlescent-y?
Yes.
Interesting. I want to work on this joke. I don't quite get it. I like Twitter because it combines my two favorite forms of communication, texting and throwing a note in a bottle out into the sea. Why is text... What? I don't... How? Twitter... I guess because you don't know if anyone's going to see it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, so
That
I get
makes
the...
sense.
Yeah, you're shouting into the void.
Yeah, okay, I get it now. I was slow on the uptake. That was it. That was me. I applaud emo.
I'm not...
I'm the only
clapping...
one.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
you were
clapping with the hand on the
slapping
windowsill.
the windowsill, slapping the windowsill. That is now lingo for something else. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, you know, it's going to be slapping the windowsill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it means. It's just, I think we can get it into the vernacular of today's culture.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we could be the Mike Myers of our generation with yeah, baby, etc. and yeah, right, and swing and all those other things that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Look, we've got nothing else to talk about, so it's time to end this, yo.
Yeah.
If you would like, thank you, Frozen Cusser, for that accent challenge. We did not adhere to your rules, but we still attempted it in our own way. You can vote for your winner on Twitter at NicePodBud. It'll be pinned. It'll be pinned to the top of our Twitter. But you can also talk to Brogan directly at 7 Billion Needles.
And you can talk to Wayne directly at Wayne Geo.
And you know what? Go to Hey Bud, NicePod. What's our website? nicepodbud.com/store. Buy yourself a shirt related to Dr. Jim. There's a floaty cat up there now as well. But anyway, thanks for stopping by and having a listen.
As always, stay fresh, cheese bags.